Welcome to the Resilient Philosopher. This is the Leon Dantes, and today we're going to talk about a topic really close to me. We are going to discuss depression, but not just any form of depression. We're going to talk about manic depression disorder. This is something that I was diagnosed in my mid 30s and is it was a eye-opening situation because it explained more why I had struggles growing up, why I at times I would lose my identity, my will to fight and to accomplish stuff. It became an excuse that I would use when I was told that I wouldn't make it. Like if I mentioned something that I wanted to do and I was told, "Oh, you're never going to see it through or you're never going to make it. I don't know why you're even talking about that." That to me was enough of an excuse to give up on it. And I never truly understood why I did that to myself until I was diagnosed with bipolar and manic depression disorder and ADHD. Now, in my personal journey, I addressed each disorder separately and a sense that my therapist saw the need to treat my depression in order to work in my manic episode of bipolar. It took a good 2 years of therapy and medication to start finding a normal. And still, there were struggles because some medications did not work. Some medications did the opposite in the sense that I did have suicidal thoughts and tendencies during some medications. Luckily, as you see, I am alive. I am healthy mentally, physically, emotionally. I do take my medication, not as extreme as before, because I found ways to manage my disorders with medication and therapy. Now, I do not go anymore so often to therapy because the medication has worked. And no, I do not self diagnose. The reason being is through journaling my emotions, through embracing my mistakes, in the sense of when I have a shift of emotions that come over me and my attitude changes, instead of blaming others, I analyze, could it be any possible way that I took this out of proportion? Could it be any possible way that I saw it differently because of being bipolar? And if I have any doubt in my involvement with my actions that does not blame the other person, even if there is a doubt on it, I'd rather make peace and learn from it. In other words, it's not self blame, it's just knowing that I have as much to do in the discussion or argument or whatever situation it is as the other person. And I constantly try to work on myself. I have a mentor that one of my mentors once said that the biggest room in a person's life is the room for improvement, which I agree very strong with. But before he said that, I always said that every single day is a great day to learn something new by removing the excuses and addressing the reasons, the issues. In that way, we truly find growth. By doing so, by having that philosophy already built within me, I saw it necessary to follow such philosophy by the book. Meaning, I started analyzing my mistakes, my culpabilities, and situations instead of automatically making assumptions that I had nothing to do with it and the other person has it out for me. Or I had nothing to do with the situation, it was out of my hands, not my fault. So once I stopped doing that, I actually saw growth because I surrounded myself with people that understood that I was not using my situation, my mental health, as or illness as an excuse for my actions. They were just part of my actions. And perhaps the most difficult part, personally, for me, is not the highs, is not the manic. I think I can do anything that I set my mind into mentality. Grandiose, completely out of my hands, greatest ideas that I thought I ever had have been during that time of a high emotional bipolar manic episodes. So it has been in my lowest points that I've truly appreciate having control and a happy medium, finding ways to motivate myself, setting goals, keeping a journal, working constantly, and having control over my emotions that I've become myself again. And that to me is the most rewarding thing that could ever happen in my life. Not to compare it to becoming a father, because that of its own is a unique experience. Losing my mother, for example. If that would have happened 4 years earlier, I might have been here to talk to you guys about it. But today, 8 years later, I am still here, able to speak about it because now I understand that by giving up, I am not escaping the pain. I'm just making other people suffer with it because my kids need me, and not that they need me to provide for them per se, because yes, they do, but they also need me because knowing that your father and your mother are alive are like the pillars sustaining our world as we know it. And there is no good age to lose your parents. There's definitely no good age to lose your kids because the natural effects of life is the parents go first, the children will follow. Now, having said that, when I've been through those lowest points previously to treatment, I can honestly say that it was during the times where everything was going well that I started thinking about how bad can it go. And I would set myself up to become depressed, to use it as an excuse not to do anything. Because you see, if I did nothing, I wouldn't fail at anything. So even the thoughts were negative. I remember rarely in my teen years, in the midst of my teen years, was the first time I took a whole bottle of sleeping pills, hoping not to wake up the next day. And yes, I've heard people say the thing as bad as You're just asking for attention to, oh, there's no way you can die with sleeping pills. But what those people don't realize, what those people don't know is while I was doing this, my thoughts was, I hope I don't wake up tomorrow. To me, when they say that, it's almost like saying, if you wanted to be dead, you would have killed yourself. When you're depressed, anything that is said to you in any form is taken more negative than the usual. And I'm not saying don't joke with somebody who's depressed. No, a good laughter is necessary. It can break your feelings, your emotions. I'm simply saying when somebody is depressed, the best thing you can do for them is seek help. Help them get better. There's nothing more coward or cowardly than to know that somebody needed help. You having the capabilities of helping achieve such help and refuse to do so, you are as complicit in whatever happens to that person as that person is to what happened to themselves. This is an episode where I've opened up myself tremendously in hopes to help those out there going through mental health crisis. And I want to use this episode to truly remind people that you matter, that we all matter, that we are all needed on this face of the earth because we complement each other. I would also like to remind that no matter where you at, there's always help by reaching the suicide health line, helpline, sorry. Seek therapy, seek help. Taking medication does not make you less of a person. If you need medication, take it. Take your medication and pursue therapy to help you cope through therapy and eventually stop taking medication. But you must seek help because your life depends on it. Your life as a breathing being, as much as life as you live it, as you live through it, that is important. So seek help from a psychiatrist or a psychologist or a licensed therapist to help you cope through any mental health or mental illnesses that you might be going through or you know that you have. It has been this month 8 years since I lost my mom. There's not a single day that I don't think of her. And I'm not grateful for having such a beautiful human being in my life as my mother was. Because that woman faced cancer, almost beat it, and was always more worried about the people around her than about herself. That woman loved life like I never loved life before. And perhaps the biggest paradox was that by losing her, I too learned how to live life. I miss her more and more every single day. I truly do. But I see her through my kids, I see her through my daughters, and I know that no matter what, she's always within me because I am part of her. Thank you for listening to this episode. And I would like to remind you that you can help with this by purchasing one of our books. Right now, We have The Resilient Philosopher, The Prism of Reality, available for free digitally on our website, visionleon.com. And you can purchase the book digitally through Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, Apple Books, and many other formats. Now, the printed edition of The Resilient Philosopher, The Prism of Reality, is available in hard copy through Barnes and Nobles and Amazon. Please also visit our website at visionleon.com, where you can find over 700 articles with similar subjects. I also would like to thank everyone that has listened to this podcast. I do it not for the money, because I do it for the love to help others. The Resilient Philosopher and Vision Leon LLC are under the philosophy of servant leadership. We're here to help, to support through our articles and these episodes, to motivate others, to help them by empowering them to be better. Our goal is to reach as many people as possible, but not only that, it is also to help them become leaders in their own communities and live their own philosophy of leadership, their own ways of being a servant leader to their communities. And for this to happen, you must always show up for yourself. Until next Tuesday, this is D. Leon Dantes wishing you a great week and great luck. Remember to visit our website for a article coming out expanding this episode, as well as many other articles expanding other episodes of The Resilient Philosopher.